So that's why we are signing first. Then so that three of these will immediately support. So first we can support, then we'll call them. One will give to them, and one for BCCI. But BCCI what we will do is these two, I think.
No,
Parties and BCCI. First two sets to the court, third to the BCCI, then to these four parties. सब मुझे टाइम करना। अच्छा चलो। Wait, please. Let us sign. Wait. We are not going right
just
now.
Just 1 minute.
अरे साहब उस पे डेट लगा।
They'll all finish signing copies. Just.
Sir, no, मेरे को no, I'll put my date.
Date is in the beginning.
That is there. That is of course there.
The big story that's coming in at the moment, Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals both suspended for a period of 2 years. Dramatic decision taken by the Lodha committee. In addition, Gurunath, Meiyappan and Kundra have been suspended from all cricketing activities for life. Those are the big decisions. But two franchises, CSK and Rajasthan Royals, are suspended because their franchise owners, in a sense, have been suspended. Now, whether this means that in the future, can a fresh owner buy these teams? That remains to be a question which will have to be clarified. And we will ask our reporter to clarify that with Justice Lodha. But as of today, CSK and Rajasthan Royals, both previous winners of the IPL, have been suspended for a period of 2 years because they breached clause 6 of the IPL by indulging in activities that were inimical to the game of cricket. Repeatedly, Justice Lodha said the reputation of cricket has been tarnished, the BCCI's reputation has been tarnished, the passion that cricket fans have for the game has been betrayed. So a very, very strong verdict coming in. It's the big IPL purge, as we are calling it. Clearly, two teams have been suspended. CSK suspended, Rajasthan Royals suspended. Both these teams have been suspended from the IPL because their owners cannot participate in cricketing activity for this period of time. Franchises, the word that he used, the franchises have been suspended. CSK and Rajasthan Royals under clause 6 of the IPL. Let me get in first reactions. Are we surprised, Boria Majumdar? Are we surprised at all with what has happened? Or was this in tune with what you expected? No. A 2-year suspension. A very strong signal being sent out by Justice Lodha and Justice Ravindran and Justice Bhan.
No, I'm not. I said today Indian cricket will change, perhaps world cricket will change, and IPL will change forever. IPL is in the dock. I mean, whether or not CSK India Cement sells it is a different question, but Rajasthan Royals, who will buy it? Will they be owners?
I'm going to hold you because Nalini Chidambaram, who's been a counsel, joins me at the moment. Nalini Chidambaram, your first reactions to this. You've been a counsel in this case for the BCCI as well.
Yes. According to me, the entire BCCI has to be blamed for allowing an amendment to 6.2.4, which is the direct result of conflict of interest. All this has happened. Therefore, I am very glad that the Supreme Court referred the matter to the Lodha committee, and the Lodha committee has given a good finding, and therefore I am very happy about
Now clarify for us. In your view, does this mean CSK, the franchise, gets suspended, or does it only mean that India Cements cannot participate in the IPL for 2 years? Your understanding?
No, my understanding is only CSK. But India Cements, since Mr. Srinivasan is still holding the office of TNCA president, they cannot again go and incur a conflict of interest by bidding for any other franchise.
Okay, so what if a new franchise owners takes over CSK? Can CSK then play the IPL in your understanding?
No, because I am yet to watch the details, but I am informed that CSK has been suspended for 2 weeks. So whoever is the owner, CSK cannot play.
Okay, whoever is the owner, CSK cannot play, is what is your understanding of this verdict. I don't know if Justice Lodha is now taking questions. We are waiting to see if Justice Lodha is taking questions. Let's listen.
An application was made to the Honorable Supreme Court, and Mr. Vivek Priyadarshi now has been appointed in place of Mr. B.B. Mishra by the court's order of 17th April. Now he is still examining the matter. He has not submitted the report. We are just awaiting. We are awaiting his report. Once it comes, we'll examine and then decide.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. This is Ranjit Singh from ANI.
I'll just.
अरे पीछे कैमरा यार, पीछे ध्यान दो मैडम, पीछे भी ध्यान दो यार.
No, we have not. Conflict of interest, whatever it was, has already been done by the Honorable Supreme Court. And as regards reforms part, we have circulated a questionnaire where conflict of interest actually questions have been raised. We are interacting with people. Once we complete that exercise, then whatever view we take, you will come to know about that.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. This is
guidelines. You are supposed to issue certain guidelines.
Oh, that is still. That is to be done. That exercise is not complete.
Sir, good afternoon.
This, as I began, this order is confined to determination of quantum of punishment to two individuals and their franchisee. This order doesn't deal with anything more.
Sir, if BCCI pursues this case forward, is there any criminal complaint being filed or investigated?
That is for, look, so far as our role is concerned, it was disciplinary role that we did on behalf of BCCI, and that we have made clear in the order. That has been made clear by the Honorable Supreme Court also. About criminal action, law will take its own course. We have not dealt with it. We were not mandated. We could not have, and therefore no aspect touching criminal liability has been examined by us or decided by us.
Sir, मैं अहमद अजीम हूँ आज तक से एक
one by
सर मैं अहमद अजीम हूँ आज तक से.
See and wait for 1 minute. Each one of you will get. Sir, either you start from behind or from
सर माइक की तरफ. मैं अहमद अजीम हूँ आज तक से. मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि अगर ICL यानी इंडिया सीमेंट लिमिटेड अपना स्टेक बेच देता है, CSK जो है कोई और ले लेता है, क्या उस सूरत में CSK खेल पाएगी?
देखिए, ये क्वेश्चन हमारे सामने नहीं है. ये जो कंसर्न अथॉरिटी है, BCCI has to take a call, and then whatever is legal course available to the people, that is available.
Sir, is
look,
the sanction
you must
on
appreciate,
CSK or the India Cement?
you must appreciate it's not that we can deal with every aspect of the matter. The Supreme Court's order in paragraph 110 is very clear. The role and reach of the committee, they are defined there, and we have proceeded according to that. So all questions, please, all questions, I should make it clear, your questions must relate to three aspects. One, the order which we have given. The other two, namely role of Mr. Sundaraman, Chief Operating Officer, and three, administrative reforms in BCCI. Now, as regards Mr. Sundaraman's role, as I have already indicated, that Mr. Priyadarshi, who has been appointed as head of the investigation team, has not submitted the report to the committee. Once that report comes, we'll examine and then decide what should be the action. So now, as regards administrative reforms, the exercise is on. We have interacted with almost 40 to 45 people at different locations. We have yet to meet few people. Once that is done, then we will decide what reports should be submitted.
Sir. Listen.
Look, those who may be of use to us, we may not ignore them. We will interact with them definitely, because our idea is to get inputs from all stakeholders. We have even invited editors. We met quite a few people who are sport writers, who are editors, who are journalists, so that it's not confined to cricket administrators or politicians alone. We are meeting all stakeholders who represent some view, so that we can actually have a broad broad inputs with us.
Sir, one question. I am Ashok. Sir, one question.
बैटिंग है वो गैम्बलिंग एक्ट पे है जिसका सजा बहुत
Sir, here.
पूरे देश के साथ जुड़ा हुआ
देखिए
Sir, I have the mic with me. Sir, one last question. One last question. Sir, one last question. How, what, एक second. Yeah, let there be some decorum. How?
Look, as regards players, Supreme Court has given its verdict. We have, as I told you, our role and reach are confined to paragraph 110 of the Honorable Supreme Court's order.
Sir, will your order have a bearing on the players also? Because when you suspend the franchise,
yes,
what happens to the players?
We have said, look, players are free. They will not be attached with a particular team of the franchisee who has been suspended. Now they are free. But look, we are not saying yes. One of the arguments was that by suspending the franchisee, a financial loss may be caused to the players. We thought, and that's our view, that if cricket is bigger than individuals and body of individuals, then financial loss to players or franchisees is not of significant contribution or consideration.
Sir.
Now I think enough.
Sir.
You have said that.
Justice Lodha, one question.
Yeah, please, I know.
Justice Lodha, I have the mic, guys.
Look. No, just if you, please.
Justice Lodha.
No, that we are not. As I told you, our role was confined
Justice
to
Lodha.
Supreme Court direction. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Justice Lodha.
Please copy. Yeah, now we have signed two.
Justice Lodha.
Two compilations, two orders will be sent to the Supreme Court.
Justice Lodha, I have a.
No. Supreme Court, you'll have to tender.
Please do your job, yaar. Please keep quiet.
Today.
Justice Lodha, can I kindly ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Before I ask a question, first of all, I want to say on behalf of the media who's gathered here and also all cricket fans,
please.
A big thank you to the entire panel for finally delivering what in a sense is a certain sense of justice in this spot fixing scam.
So nice. Yeah.
So thank you very, very much. My limited question is, will it remain restricted to the headlines? Because most of the times when we see such problems arising within the BCCI, in the end it is just about one fall guy or maybe two fall guys. So the question is that there is a sense, not only in the media but also in the public, that cricket or perhaps Indian cricket is corrupted to the core. Do you believe with the starting of this judgment that Indian cricket will finally see some change in its...
I'll just read two lines from our order. Will you just... Will you kindly... Will you hear now my answer? Just a minute. My answer to his question is reflected at page 58 of our order, and which reads, I quote, "We feel that our decision must reflect a kind of institutionally firm view for upholding the paramountcy of the game." So this is because we are in a way a body created by Supreme Court for the purposes of BCCI. The view which we have taken is not an order for these four persons. It must serve as an institutional view on such types of problems. नहीं, petition तो आपको मिल जाएगा, वो email पे मिल जाएगा.
That's the big question that now we want to ask from that press conference. Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals suspended because their franchise owners have been suspended. The question is, can the franchise continue under a new owner? Can we have a CSK owned by another company of Chennai, let's say an MRF? could a Rajasthan Royals get a new owner and thereby continue in the IPL? Vinay, the question was asked by Aaj Tak's correspondent, and Justice Lodha seemed to suggest that this was not part of their remit, not part of their mandate. This was left to the BCCI. So technically, am I right in saying as of today, because the franchise owner and the franchisee are co-terminus, Chennai Super Kings, Rajasthan Royals stand suspended. But tomorrow if the BCCI holds a fresh auction and asks for fresh owners to take over, both these franchises can continue under fresh owners.
Yes, and I think the confusion is happening because people are not reading what the Supreme Court's order was originally in January. The order very clearly goes by the governing council rules that are in place for IPL. 2.4.4 talks about the ownership of a franchisee and the punishment of the franchisee. So what this order means is that this particular franchisee now no longer can own a team for 2 years. So as on date, CSK as a team ceases to exist. Having said that, in answer to Ahmed Azim's question, Justice Lodha made it very clear that if the BCCI so desires, it means there is a window where the BCCI can hold a fresh auction and another owner can come in and buy the Chennai team. That is technically now possible. So I think it would be unfair to conclude so quickly that it would be a 6-team IPL next season. I think we may still have an 8 teams IPL if there is a fresh auction that happens.
I think that's a fair understanding of what has happened. Kunal, that is the possibility because the BCCI has the window now.
Yeah.
And clearly, given the fact, as we've been discussing earlier, a 6-team IPL may not be seen as financially feasible. So the other franchise owners will also push for an 8-team IPL. Maybe, as I said, other teams will take over. So essentially now, it's goodbye India Cements and goodbye Raj Kundra's involvement in Rajasthan Royals. But whether these franchisees can continue under a new avatar is still now a question mark, and possibly the ball is in the Supreme Court's because someone will go to the Supreme Court on this question and possibly with the BCCI.
And also with the teams, Rajdeep. See, India Cements has paid money to buy Chennai Super Kings. India Cements is suspended for 2 years. What if India Cements decides I'm going to sit out for 2 years and come back 2 years later as Chennai Super Kings? See, there's a transaction that has been made between the BCCI and India Cements to sell Chennai Super Kings. Similarly, there's a transaction been made between BCCI and Jaipur IPL to buy Rajasthan Royals. Now, there are a lot of factors that need to be taken into account, business factors, what the teams are going to do. You know, Srinivasan, being Srinivasan, may suddenly decide that koi baat nahi, I'm going to sit out for 2 years and then come back 2 years later
there is one,
Chennai
there is one corollary to this, Rajdeep. The most important point is, please remember, the BCCI now has a completely new political dispensation ruling it, which is not necessarily very friendly to Mr. Srinivasan, even though there are reports of deals. Now, this dispensation has the authority to go in for a fresh auction and deny CSK.
Exactly. I think, you know, Kunal, I think it's very clear that if the BCCI wants, they can immediately call for a fresh auction. I think Mr. Srinivasan's options have run out in terms of controlling CSK after a verdict like this, because clearly they have rejected his plea that in some way there was a distance between him and the CSK team. They've overruled that India Cements was seen as the owner of CSK. So that legal fiction which was attempted to be created by Mr. Srinivasan doesn't hold. From the players' point of view, they'll want these franchises to continue. The MS Dhonis, the Rahul Dravids,
well, they'd want the
franchises
of course,
to
the
continue.
players would want to continue. They want to go out there, get that platform to go and showcase their talent. But one quick question I want to ask Vinay is, Rajasthan Royals is not in the same boat as Chennai Super Kings, because don't forget Raj Kundra only owned 11.74% of the stake of the team.
True, but in the press conference when Mr. Lodha was asked, he said it doesn't operate retrospectively. One of the lawyers, Ashok Desai, argued that since the stake has already been sold by Raj Kundra, why should the team suffer? That was rejected. Please keep that in mind.
Nikhil's question is very valid, because unlike the ICL owning CSK team, Raj Kundra was only an 11% owner. So the question is, can an 11% owner who's a minority stakeholder be considered the full owner of a team? That's where the problem is.
As of now, they've considered him a full owner. I'll come to you, Boria, in a moment, but Radhika joins us from outside the venue. There must be a big buzz, Radhika, there, because this is possibly the most dramatic verdict that we've heard in Indian cricket in a very long time. We haven't seen such tough action been taken since possibly the Azharuddin case of match fixing and banning him for life, which was about 16 years ago.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. In fact, mad chaos out here, you know, when the three justices walked in and started delivering the verdict. There was a lot of apprehension as to what it is going to be exactly like. There is still a large media contingent out here. Remember, the three justices are still very much in the premises. As far as expecting the judgment is concerned, you know, it has been a landmark judgment, suspending the two teams, as far as imposing sanctions on the two concerned owners of the teams as well. The justices have very clearly said that the scope of the judgment for them was limited. Whatever was asked of them, that is what they've done. So as far as changing ownership of the teams and the players are concerned, that is something that the BCCI needs to look into. But yes, Rajdeep, a landmark judgment out here, of course. A lot expected out of this committee that was formed by the Supreme Court, and they seem to have delivered a judgment which seems to be fitting of their stature and as far as the way they have conducted the entire process.
Okay, I just want to come to you, Boria. You've been waiting to put out your finger and tell us what you think, because there is a sense now that BCCI has one window. Have a fresh auction for these two franchisees, invite other owners, they can take over. Maybe they can change the name. The name it can be changed, that is entirely up to the new owners if they so choose to do so. But it appears that the BCCI has or the three-judge committee has primarily fined the owners. It's the owners who stand suspended, and as of today those owners are co-terminus, including a minority owner like Raj Kundra with the franchise he represents. But tomorrow, if the ownership pattern is to change, maybe these two teams could yet survive. Do you believe that that is an option the BCCI or Jagmohan Dalmia will now exercise?
Hold on, we are just going a step too far. First, it is not on the BCCI. Kunal was making the point, and correctly so. Two things here. One, 2 years of suspension for India Cements and Jaipur. They have not been terminated. Will India Cements agree to the BCCI saying give up ownership and give it to somebody else?
I have to stop you again, Boria. We've got AC Muthaiya, former BCCI president, joining us from London. Mr. Muthaiya, you've been a critic of Mr. Srinivasan in the past. Your first reactions to the fact that India Cements, i.e. in this case CSK, has been suspended for 2 years?
I welcome the verdict. It will clean up cricket, definitely.
Do you believe it will clean up cricket? Do you believe it will clean up cricket, or
I think
will the cleanup only take place if the BCCI now, if this three-member committee takes it to the next level, looks at issues of conflict of interest, looks at issues of the way elections are conducted by the BCCI? It's not just about Rajasthan Royals and CSK. Cricket needs a complete cleanup, starting with the BCCI, Mr. Muthaiya, of which you were once president.
It's true. But I think now BCCI should look into the articles. I think that is also the mandate for the Lodha committee to look into the articles and make some changes and so on. In any case, I think this is a very good verdict. It will definitely clean up cricket. It will be a good lesson for the wrongdoers in the future.
Right. Well, strong words there coming. You believe, of course, that this is a much needed verdict. You've been a critic of Mr. Srinivasan in the past. I appreciate your joining us. We'll come back to you for more. But a quick word. Sorry, Boria, to intervene before we take a break. You wanted to make the point about whether you believe CSK will act, or India Cements will actually agree to give up the CSK franchise.
No, if they do, what is the price? I mean, first, it is not on the BCCI. I mean, we are trying to say BCCI will hold fresh auctions. It's not upon the BCCI. The franchisees have not been terminated, they've been suspended. Wait. If the BCCI goes and requests India Cements, i.e. Srinivasan, first the BCCI and Mr. Srinivasan will have to see eye to eye. Second, they'll have to request Jaipur. What is the value? The value at this point in time is 1,000 crores for India Cements owning Chennai Super Kings. How much will they get? 200 crores with a suspended 2-year franchise. Will they sustain a 800 crore loss? Look, it's not easy. So just to say the BCCI will hold fresh auctions and IPL will be an 8-team affair is just sort of simplifying it way too far. This is a landmark judgment. Indian cricket has changed. We've got to look into the ramifications. As on today, it is unviable for India Cements and Rajasthan Royals to sell the franchises to another particular owner, suffer 500 crore losses and let the BCCI run with it. So wait, for the moment it will be a 6-team IPL. Yes, theoretically it can be an 8-team or even a 10-team IPL, provided the board wants. But can the board pull it off with India Cements and Jaipur? We've got to wait and see in the near future.
I think that's a point. However, the general perception at the moment is those who've spoken to Justice Lodha seem to indicate that there is a window which has now been left to the BCCI to decide the future shape of the IPL, and maybe Mr. Srinivasan's cards as a result of this verdict are actually reducing. Even if he remains, of course, the owner of Chennai Super Kings, the fact is that the team is suspended for 2 years and no franchise really can financially suffer the blow that will involve a 2-year suspension. Let's take a break at this point. When we return, we'll come back with much more. That's the big question. What happens therefore? Will we see MS Dhoni next year in the IPL or not? Will we see an Ajinkya Rahane next year in the IPL or not? Will they move to different teams? What will the BCCI do? Our correspondents are tracking Anurag Thakur. The BCCI notoriously, of course, silent at times like this. We're going to try and get an official BCCI reaction to this big verdict, a historic verdict in many ways, because clearly this is more than a rap on the knuckles. Indian cricket has been put on notice. The IPL has been put on notice.